The issues facing animal shelters today are a far cry from the issues we dealt with in the 1970s. Back then, animal shelters were euthanizing an estimated 23 million dogs and cats a year. It was the peak of pet overpopulation. A massive spay-neuter campaign was launched that drastically reduced the pet overpopulation problem. Most significantly, this spay-neuter campaign has reduced the number of dogs, especially litters of puppies, entering the shelter system nationwide. And while populations vary depending on geography, the rural southeastern U.S. still gets litters of puppies, while the Northeast is experiencing a drastic reduction in litters of puppies and pet dogs, but still has an abundance of fighting and guarding dogs. According to current estimates, United States shelters are now only euthanizing somewhere between 2 to 5 million dogs and cats annually. As a result, dogs increasingly end up in shelters due to behavior problems rather than pet overpopulation. This change in the profile of the shelter dog population is occurring during what seems to be the peak of the public's desire to adopt or rescue. With fewer dogs overall, and a higher percentage which are problematic and difficult to place, shelters are ending up holding dogs for longer periods of time than ever before. Now, more than ever, we need national humane guidelines for quality of life issues facing dogs in shelters. Because a kennel, no matter how modern, clean, or nice, is still an unhealthy and stressful place to keep a dog.
In this DVD set,
you will find minimum standards of care for the behavioral, emotional, and mental health needs of the dogs in your shelter, plus training and enrichment tips to thwart the inevitable negative effects of kenneling. In my opinion, it has been a gross oversight not to already have in place these minimum standards of care if we are aiming for becoming a no-kill nation. Without objective procedures for shelters to use on how to assess and what to do if a dog has deteriorated, the overcrowding and often inhumane conditions for dogs in our shelters will only increase. This DVD is designed to outline not only minimum humane guidelines for dogs, but to offer ways to better manage and maintain the dogs in your care, whether they are with the shelter for a week, a month, or even longer. Most importantly, this DVD will give a shelter a way to assess the conditions for each dog living in its kennels. Minimum quality of life standards must be in place before a shelter develops any placement or euthanasia policies. Even in the best of shelters, with the greatest staff and volunteers, kennel life is frustrating, confining, arousing, overstimulating, loud, wet, and scary for dogs. Most kennels offer no escape, safe place, or privacy for the frightened dog.